Your mind is not one single thing. It is a collection of many different traits that evolution built, borrowed, or accidentally left in place. To understand human psychology, you have to understand the three categories every trait falls into: adaptations, byproducts, and noise. This is one of the most important ideas in evolutionary psychology because it tells you what your mind was built to do, what it was not built to do, and what is just random biological leftovers. First, adaptations. An adaptation is a trait that helped your ancestors survive or reproduce. Evolution kept these traits because they solved real problems in the ancestral world. Adaptation means it had a function. Adaptation means it was shaped by natural selection over thousands of generations. Adaptations are the traits that exist today because the people who carried them had more children who survived long enough to have more children. Examples make it simple. Fear of snakes and spiders existed because those creatures were dangerous. Disgust evolved because it protected you from disease. Jealousy evolved because it protected your mating investment. Attraction to healthy partners came from the fact that healthy partners create healthier offspring. Your pain system exists to warn you about injury. Your desire for status exists because status increased access to resources and mates. These traits all had fitness benefits, meaning they increased survival or reproduction. That is why they exist today. Next, byproducts. A byproduct is something that did not evolve for a purpose, but appears because of something else that did evolve. The clearest example is a baby's belly button. The belly button exists because the umbilical cord existed. The belly button has no function. It is just a side effect. In psychology, reading and writing are byproducts. Your brain did not evolve for reading. There were no books in the ancestral world. But your brain did evolve for language, pattern recognition, object identification, and long-term memory. Reading is a new skill made from old adaptations. Byproducts are everywhere in the mind. Music is likely a byproduct of language and emotional signaling. Humor is partly an adaptation and partly a byproduct of pattern detection and social intelligence. Even modern obsessions like video games or social media use ancient adaptations in a totally new environment. These behaviors happen not because evolution designed them, but because evolution designed systems that get hijacked by modern life. Finally, noise. Noise is random variation that has no function at all. Noise is biological randomness. It is the leftover static in the system. Noise explains small quirks, small personality differences, and small physical differences that do not affect survival or reproduction. Noise comes from random genetic variation, developmental accidents, and the fact that biology is never perfectly clean. An example is the exact angle of someone's ear, the way someone laughs, or tiny differences in how two people react to harmless things. These traits were not selected for, and they were not selected against. They are just there. Knowing the difference between adaptations, byproducts, and noise is what separates scientific thinking from guessing. If you treat every behavior as an adaptation, you get nonsense. If you treat every behavior as random, you also get nonsense. The key is recognizing which traits solved ancestral problems, which traits came from something else that solved a problem, and which traits are simply random leftovers. Adaptations are shaped by natural selection. Byproducts come from adaptations. Noise comes from random variation. Your mind is built from all three. Evolution built the useful parts, reused old parts, and left random parts behind. That is why your psychology feels organized in some areas, flexible in others, and messy in others. It is not a perfect system. It is a survival system built over millions of years, piece by piece, using whatever worked well enough to help your ancestors live long enough to reproduce.